Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Maree. Today I'm going to be doing a sit down chit chat. So you might want to grab something to drink, get cozy, get comfy, and I have my cold brew. I have to tell you a funny story. One time one of you commented and said, "Oh, it's cold brew coffee." All this time I thought you meant beer, and I thought, oh my gosh, I guess I should clarify. So I have some pumpkin spice cold brew coffee right here because I'm gonna be chit-chatting a lot. I just wanted to create a video kind of just explaining my story, like all in one sit down, because if you don't know, I do have a podcast and it is called Life is a Treasure, and I'm gonna get to how that got started, what led to that in a minute. But I have mentioned in my videos on this YouTube channel, and this YouTube channel also used to be named Life is a Treasure, but I felt like it was too confusing because at the beginning I was putting my podcast there, so it was like, okay, that's fine, just leave, you know, the YouTube channel can be Life is a Treasure because I'm sending my podcast there. But I have always had videos over the years of me speaking and sharing my story, which I'm going to share with you today, on YouTube. So, you know, a long time ago, I'm talking like when YouTube first started, I made sure like my videos were on there so other people could get the message of hope, help, and healing. So that's a little bit of the preface, but disclaimer, I will be mentioning the word abortion. That's part of my story, a divorce, stuff like that. So if any of that's triggering, you may not want to watch this video, but I have other home tours, thrift hauls. It's light, easy, and you can always come back and watch this, you know, if you're in a time of your life where you're going through struggles or you're going through a change, a major life change, and you're just trying to deal with it, but you're feeling lonely and you're so alone in your life and you feel that no one else can even imagine or understand what you're going through. We can allow ourselves to become trapped in our minds, and our mindset can be so dark and toxic. And I know I was there for so long after I had my abortion, because my abortion happened when I was under the age of 20. And when you're under the age of like 21 or even the age of 30, I'm convinced at this point, your brain is still developing. I mean, you have something in your life, whether it is abandonment, abuse, abortion in my case, which I chose, you know, anything that happens to you in your body, first of all, stores it and remembers it, but it can be triggered, which is what I'm going to talk about. And again, do not watch this if you're not healed or you're going through something painful right now. Come back and watch this at another time. However, it's very important that we do talk about these things, because if we don't, that's when we become depressed and we become suicidal, and we feel at that point there is no hope. I have sat with numerous women who felt like there was no hope left in the world for them, that they did not deserve to live a single second on this earth because of what they had done. And that breaks my heart. That's what I want to talk about today. Anything that you have gone through or are going through that's just totally broken your heart, and you just feel like you're so alone. No one understands this because no one could ever go through what I personally went through, right? I mean, but that is truth. That's truth, okay? But the lie is that no one can understand what I'm going through, or, you know, no one else is feeling this way. That's the lies. So, you know, it's hard when we're in the middle of things to discern the truth or the lies, because sometimes in our life, in my own life, I'm speaking only from my experience, mainly from my experience. And so many times in my life, I have just believed the lies for so many years that it's just easier to believe the lies than to try to believe something new that I didn't feel. And sometimes you have to believe to feel, most of the time. And that's what this is about. And so as you can see, I'm very, very chatty today. I'm a talker, I'm a speaker. I like to talk and write and do those things. And that's what we're gonna talk about, is like my journey and how do we extract our gifts, our treasures that we have within us and use them in this life to help other people. So if that's what you're ready to hear, then go ahead, get comfy, grab yourself a cold brew or a cold beer, and let's get started. Okay. First thing, I already said, you know, I had an abortion when I was under the age of 20. With that choice, I had a lot of guilt, survivor guilt, guilt for what I had done, shame. I didn't want anyone to know, and I lived the lie. So as I just said, I lived that lie that no, I didn't do this. And it's gonna go away. It's gonna go away one day. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and I went through a divorce, and I got remarried, and I had my son, I had my daughter, I'm a mom. But you know what? That never went away. The baby that I had in my body, like the thought of that baby never went away. And the pain hadn't gone away. The guilt hadn't gone away. And it had been years. By this point, I'm talking 10 years had passed, okay? 10. That's about average, you know, when you start to, I think, come out. In my experience working with other women and men, it's like, that is about the time frame that you really start to feel the reality of things in your life. You're old enough maybe or wiser to understand some things, or you have questions. So I really started questioning that, and I was like, what has been so deep down? What have I pushed so deep down inside my soul that's preventing me from bonding with my children, from feeling overprotective? And it was the experience I had. It was that time in my life where I didn't make the best choice, I felt, for my baby. So that came up, okay? And I couldn't press it. I had 2 kids. I couldn't just keep trying to push that down and be a mom. So I decided to really go deep, and I used whatever tools I could find. And back then, this was like over 20 years ago. So it's like, there was not much picking out there. There was like barely anything, honestly. So basically, I just used whatever I could get my hands on at the time. I was living overseas in Indonesia, so it was like very limited. But I got resources, and I was able to work through my healing process, which was allowing myself to realize that, okay, yes, I can have shame for what I have done, but why am I ashamed? Because I feel like I did something wrong. Well, am I forgiven? Yes, I feel forgiven. But have I forgiven myself? Have I forgiven myself? Nope. No. I can't forgive myself for that, you know? I decided I did this, whatever. So that kept me stuck there. That was deep down what it was. I didn't want to allow myself to accept forgiveness, to accept my own forgiveness. I could offer forgiveness and receive forgiveness from others, but when it came to forgiving myself, that was a whole different story. No. So I had to really learn and believe I could do that, and receive it and feel set free. Forgiven and set free. When I started speaking out and sharing my story of how I had an abortion and I suffered for so many years and I found healing, and I'm here to offer you hope because you can heal too, and I started sharing that story, so many people started coming to me and wanting to become, you know, set free from it. And there was one curriculum I found, it was called Forgiven and Set Free. And I was just like, yes. So, you know, I used that tool, and through that time, back in 2001, when I started using that, I witnessed lives being transformed. I witnessed those tears being transformed into forgiveness. into joy again, into deep joy. And they took their mask off when they came into the room in the group. And they revealed their true self, their true soul in front of the other women at the table. And that's when they became healed. And then when they became healed, they were set free. They didn't have shame or guilt anymore, and they wanted to share. And then they started helping other people heal. And it just kind of became a domino effect. And through that process, I had created a 501c3 for Tears to Treasures. And that was so that I could freely help anyone without any, like, they didn't have to pay anything to get help. It was free to them. There was no restrictions. I didn't want anyone to be, have any excuse to not be able to find forgiveness. So I did that, and then, you know, that season of my life closed, that chapter closed, and it was hard, but my children were grown then. You know, I had to move on, and my kids were both living in California, and I had memories. And I want to share with you, when I lived in Indonesia, I helped this woman who had a baby, and here he is. And so I took him home when she gave birth and fostered him, and he was then adopted out, and the adoptive family gave him the name Joshua, which happened to be, and they did not know this, happened to be the name of my baby that I aborted. I named him Joshua David, and they named him Joshua. And so I had the privilege of handing him over when it was time for the lawyers were there, and it was time for the adoption process. I was able to hand him to the family, and have photographs of it and everything. So many tears, because I literally had been taking care of him since he was born until this. And I found this frame while I was in Indonesia. It said, "The Lord is with you wherever you go," Joshua 1:9, because a few years later, actually about a year later, I had to leave Jakarta, Indonesia, and come back to the States. And so he would be, this was in 2000 and I think 4 or 5, so he would be a teenager. So yeah, wherever he is, I pray he's well. And that's just a little treasure that I will always have in my heart, of this time with him and his mother, and helping them still bond, and through the process of her letting him go to a family that was able to take care of him. And another treasure I have is my tattoo that I got here in honor of my baby, Joshua. And then as I went through life, things got a lot harder and a lot more difficult, very much struggles. And you know, I'm not going to get into that, it'd be a whole nother video, but in that time of my life, I really wanted to have this on my arm, "Stay strong." There's so many times that I've cried and just looked down on this. So that's my personal story, testimony, my little treasures that are important to me. That treasure carry around in my heart everywhere I go. And my goal and my hope for you, my inspiration, is that whatever you're going through, that you can know that there is a rainbow on the other side. Now it sounds like unicorn, rainbow, sprinkle, BS. It's not how I want you to receive that. I want you to know that I've been where you are. I've been so low that I didn't want to go anymore. I didn't think I had the strength to go any longer. And I did. And you do. So whatever you're going through, I hope you know that you and I are equal. And there is nothing you have done that's worse than what I've done. There's nothing you have done that cannot be forgiven. There's nothing you've done that you can't forgive yourself for. Those are the lies. And I hope that you can extract the truth out of your experiences and go back to those times where, you know, you felt like I left myself, I wronged myself, I abandon myself and forgive yourself. And what that means is allowing yourself to accept that, yes, I did wrong. I wish I hadn't done that, but I did. I don't want to hurt anymore. I want to grieve. I want to go through the grieving process completely. And that's the key, because so many women start the process, and men, and they just get stuck and they don't know how to move along. And that's where, you know, it comes where you have someone like I was, and that other leaders are there now for you to lead you along. And sometimes we don't just lead, but we kind of nudge you when you need to be nudged. And I've done it. And many people can testify that, yeah, she nudged me. But at the end of the day, I asked them, were you upset I did? And they said, no, I'm glad you did. Have those people in your life who are going to be honest with you, who love you, who have your best interest in heart and in mind, and surround yourself with those people. Those are your treasures. So I don't know who needed to hear this. I just felt led to come here today and share this little message, share this story, kind of let you know that, you know, if you've been with me through Tears to Treasures since the beginning, thank you. I have had the privilege of working with so many beautiful women and men in this whole chapter of my life. And the reason I'm coming here is just to publicly say that season of my life has closed. And this is something that's really, really hard. I never thought I would come to this place. And honestly, it's been a few years that I felt that season has moved on, but I couldn't let go. It's hard to let go. It's hard to let go of your babies. It's hard to let go of your grown children who were your babies at one time. It's hard to let go of something that you created and you started, and you have to let it go because life goes on. Other things happen. And there's time for change, and it's beautiful. We're going through a change of season right now. We're getting ready to go through time, you know, over here in the US, falling backwards, I say, and, you know, daylight savings time. It's just all the changes. And change can be beautiful. Step outside, look at the colors. They're like blue sky, white clouds, yellow flowers, red, yellow, green leaves on the trees, all the beautiful butterflies and flowers. Like, I love wearing it and reminding myself of this, but it's all around. And you know, I have anxiety, and sometimes I just like have to go step outside, and so many times when I do, it's like the breeze just comes and I just take it in, like the spirit everywhere is around you, and you too. So go outside today, enjoy this beautiful weather. I hope you've been inspired. You inspired me to show up. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I know this is a different type of video. It's kind of like a podcast. I'm actually going to try to extract the audio from this and put it in a podcast, because I've put my podcast kind of on the hold and focusing my efforts on YouTube. And you know, I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark, and that's what I'm doing right now. But I also have a lot of things in the works for 2023 that I'm so excited about. Can't wait to share with you all. But in the meantime, just enjoying, you know, nature and country and the season and my home, and yeah, just everything. Just so grateful in November 2022 that we're here. We've been through a lot as a world, as we still are. We're in important pivotal times, and I don't know, I just had this heaviness. I just wanted to come and share that someone needs to hear, someone. So if it was you, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching to the end. Just know that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. This time will pass. Seasons will change. You will be a new you, but you will always be uniquely you. So I hope you all go and have a blessed day, and I will see you very, very soon for a Christmas haul that I'm gonna be sharing, and then I'm gonna do the decor, home decorate with me. So subscribe, it's coming in a few days, Christmas home decor. See you soon. Bye.
I hope you will open your mind to allow big dreams to come through your wild heart, sending you all wild vibes.